Previously on Wings Across Canada. Our journey began in Stanley, where we took off and headed east towards Halifax. Flying over the city, we had a stunning view of Halifax Harbour, one of Canada's busiest ports, where towering ships, historic landmarks, and a lively waterfront painted a perfect picture of the region's deep maritime roots. From there, we turned southwest, following the rugged coastline past Sambro and Terrence Bay before reaching one of Nova Scotia's most famous landmarks, Peggy's Cove. The sight of its iconic lighthouse perched on the wave-sculpted granite brought back great memories of when Val and I visited by land, and from the air, it was just as breathtaking. Continuing along the coast, we passed Mahone Bay and its scattered islands before finally approaching one of the most storied ports in the country, Lunenburg. Now, in part 2 of this journey, we'll circle over Lunenburg's picturesque waterfront, home to vibrant, colorful buildings, a rich shipbuilding history, and if we're lucky, the legendary Bluenose II. From the air, this harbor town is even more striking with its deep maritime roots on full display. But our adventure won't stop here. From Lunenburg, we'll continue south, following the dramatic coastline where the Atlantic meets the land in a spectacular display of cliffs, coves, and untamed beauty. With clear skies ahead, we're in for some of the best coastal flying of the trip. So strap in. The next leg of our Nova Scotia adventure begins now. As we get close to Lunenburg, it suddenly clicks. We never realized how the whole town is crammed onto this narrow peninsula. Walking its streets, exploring the waterfront, we just never pictured it this way. One of the things I love about flying is how it reveals the big picture, the way a place truly fits into the landscape. Being on the ground, you don't always see it. Sometimes, you have to gain some altitude to really understand where you've been. There's the Bluenose right there, the masts, and a brown lumber-colored masts going sideways. We're excited to spot the Bluenose II, peacefully moored at its dock. This schooner is more than just a historic vessel, it's a living tribute to the original Bluenose, the legendary racing and fishing schooner that became a national icon. The original Bluenose ruled the seas in the 1920s and 30s, never losing a race. But its story ended far from home. Sold as a freighter, it was wrecked on a reef off Haiti in 1946. Yet its legacy was too great to be forgotten. In 1963, Lunenburg shipbuilders crafted Bluenose II, ensuring the legend would sail on. And though it now serves as an ambassador traveling the Atlantic, its image remains forever stamped on the Canadian dime. A reminder that some stories are too great to fade. When Val and I were in Lunenburg a few years ago, we hoped to see the Bluenose II, but it was out sailing. Now, finally seeing it here in its home port, it feels like we've completed part of that mission, one that started long before this flight. Traffic Gulf X-ray Zulu Sierra Cessna 182 is just overhead, just about a mile southwest of Lunenburg, 2,100 feet, and we're tracking to the southwest. 267 Traffic Gulf X-ray Zulu Sierra. As we approach Crescent Beach, its long arc of white sand stretches out along the coast, one of the few beaches in Nova Scotia where you can still drive right onto the sand. Below, a kite surfer carves effortlessly across the waves. This beach is a favorite for wind sports like kite surfing and windsurfing, thanks to the steady breezes that funnel through the area. It's also a well-known spot for clam digging at low tide, where the rhythm of the ocean offers both adventure and a connection to generations-old maritime traditions. As we carry on to the southwest, Cherry Hill Beach comes into view, an unspoiled stretch of sand bordered by low dunes and the rolling Atlantic. It's a peaceful, lesser-known spot that's become a favorite among locals for its solitude and sweeping coastal views. The steady winds here make it another hotspot for wind and kite surfing, with colorful sails often dotting the shoreline. It's also part of a protected area, offering safe nesting grounds for shorebirds and preserving the natural beauty of the region. From above, it's a reminder that sometimes the quietest places leave the biggest impression. That's the Medway Head Lighthouse. Reconstructed in 1983, its main purpose is to guide ships through the rugged, foggy entrance of the Medway River. As we pass over East Berlin Beach, its quiet stretch of white sand and shallow turquoise waters offer peaceful contrast to the rugged coastline nearby. This hidden gem is a favorite among locals for its calm surf and uncrowded shoreline. It's the kind of beach you stumble upon by accident and never forget. From above, it feels almost untouched, a perfect blend of serenity and natural beauty.
Liverpool's nearby.
Liverpool?
Yeah. Still only way up here.
Okay.
Liverpool is it's really nearby, and there's a airport. Maybe that's it there.
Just inland from here is the South Shore Regional Airport, the only paved runway between Yarmouth and Halifax. In 2022, the municipality twice moved to sell it, raising safety concerns and sparking local pushback. Advocates pointed out its importance for emergency access and general aviation. By year's end, the sale was voted down, and in early 2023, 20-year leases were signed with the Flying Club and a drag racing association, securing the airport's future. From 1,000 feet offshore, we get a stunning view of White Point Beach. It's a mile-long stretch of white sand curving gently along the coast. Nestled just behind the dunes is the iconic White Point Beach Resort, a South Shore favorite since 1928. You can spot the Red Roof Lodge and lush greens of the Oceanside Golf Course, one of the few where sea spray and salt air are part of the game. Surf, sand, and seaside charm. This is coastal Nova Scotia at its finest.
It's almost all beach along here.
The nearer of these two beaches is Little Port Joli Beach, a pristine stretch tucked into Kejimkujik National Park seaside.
I don't know if there's a road to this beach or not.
It's about a 2-mile hike in, but the reward is a peaceful shoreline teeming with seabirds, seals, and the endangered piping plover. Just beyond it lies St. Catharines River Beach, reached by an even longer trail, about 5 miles round trip, where the singing sands and the sweeping views make every step worthwhile. From above, both beaches reveal a wild, untouched beauty that few ever get to see.
That's a pretty color.
As we pass by, it feels like a place untouched by time. Endless sand, whispering dunes, and the steady rhythm of the Atlantic. Even from the air, you can sense the quiet beauty of this coastline, where nature speaks in the language of waves and wind.
Yeah.
Great.
Beach coming up here.
As we pass over Lewis Head Beach, its long sweep of white sand and scattered cottages seem almost suspended in time. Life here moves to the rhythm of the tides and the changing seasons, a quiet existence shaped by the sea. From the air, it feels both remote and deeply connected, a place where the beauty of the land and the sea quietly endures. As we approach Lockport, it's easy to see why this little town is called the beach town of the North Atlantic. Perched on a narrow peninsula and surrounded by sparkling waters, Lockport is famous for Crescent Beach, a stunning half-mile stretch of white sand once featured on the Canadian $50 bill. This historic fishing town has deep roots, settled by New Englanders in the 1700s who were drawn here by their rich fishing grounds. Even today, colorful boats dot the harbor, a reminder that the ocean still shapes daily life. From the air, the symmetry of the beach, the wharves, and the neat grid of streets gives Lockport a storybook feel, like a small town determined to hold on to its traditions no matter how wild the sea beyond may get. It's a reminder of how a small community tucked away at the edge of the continent can have a lasting mark on those lucky enough to find it.
This is Shelburne. This is a popular vacation spot.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. The southernmost part is Clark's Harbor. Are you headed for that?
I wasn't gonna go that far out,
Oh, okay.
but I could if you want.
Well,
Probably add a bit, but it's okay. We can do that. Headed there now.
like the southmost point in the Maritimes.
At the edge of Nova Scotia, Cape Sable Island feels carved from wind, salt, and sea. This is lobster country, where fishermen brave the Atlantic's moods to haul in some of the world's finest catch. With its working harbors, endless beaches, and rugged spirit, Cape Sable Island is a place shaped entirely by the tides and the will of those who call it home. Below is Sable Fish Packers, where generations have made their living from the sea. Founded in 1946 and still family-run, it's a place where hard work and tradition come together, shipping Cape Sable Island's catch to markets around the world.
Do you want to go out around the point?
Over here, aren't we?
I take that as a yes.
Off in the distance, along the coast, lies the town of Clark's Harbor, the southernmost town in Nova Scotia. From up here, it appears as a quiet cluster of rooftops and wharfs, but this small community has left its mark well beyond its shoreline. In the early 1900s, a local fisherman named Ephraim Atkinson designed the very first Cape Islander boat, a practical, square-sterned vessel purpose-built for these waters. That simple design became the backbone of lobster fishing across the Maritimes, and it's still widely used today. Though we're too far to see it clearly, Clark's Harbor is also home to the United Baptist Stone Church. Built in 1921 using beach rock and concrete, it remains one of the only buildings of its kind in the province, a testament to local craftsmanship and community spirit. Remarkably, this historic church continues to hold Sunday services, welcoming congregants each week as it has for over a century. From above, Clark's Harbor may seem small, but the legacy of what was built and imagined here still echoes across the coast.
Southernmost point in the Maritimes.
As we circle Cape Sable Point, the southernmost tip of Nova Scotia comes into full view. a long stretch of sand reaching into open ocean. The Cape Sable Lighthouse stands tall near the end of the point, built in 1861 and rebuilt in 1924. It's the tallest lighthouse in the province and still an active aid to navigation today, guiding vessels through some of the most challenging waters on the coast. From up here, the shoreline seems to blend into the sea, and the open sky stretches in every direction. There's a sense of exposure out here, no shelter, no trees, just wind, surf, and sand. It's a remote and striking corner of the province, where the land simply runs out and the ocean begins.
Wow. That is beautiful.
As we leave Cape Sable Point behind, I can't help but reflect on everything we've seen. Miles of coastline carved by wind and tide, fishing villages built on tradition, and lighthouses that have stood quietly through it all. From the air, the details stand out. Boats hauled up on the shore, weathered wharfs, and winding roads that seem to cling to the edge of the land. And then there are all the beaches, more than I can count. Val would have had her shoes off and been down there exploring every one of them. She's never met a beach she didn't want to visit. Join us next episode as we carry on the journey. We'll pass over the large port city of Yarmouth, trace the fertile fields of the Annapolis Valley, and even navigate through some military airspace, each stretch revealing a new chapter of Nova Scotia's story. We're grateful to have you along for the ride, and there's still so much to see. So until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon and your spirits high.